A tiny key, slipping from my wife's coat pocket, unlocked a door to a truth so horrific it shattered the marriage I cherished. I once thought love was light, but now I see only the darkness of deception. My name is Mark, and I believed love meant giving everything. Heart, trust, future. I poured it all into Rebecca, the woman I vowed to build a life with. But she turned that trust into a cruel joke, teaching me that blind faith is a path to ruin. The pain still cuts deep, a wound that bleeds every time I think of her lies. Our home, the place I thought was safe, hid her betrayal in plain sight. This story is not just my scars lay bare. It is a warning to anyone who trusts too easily. It started on a cold afternoon. I was rummaging through Rebecca's wardrobe for a jacket when a small silver key fell from her coat pocket. It was not mine. My stomach twisted, a gut instinct I could not ignore. The key felt heavy, like it carried a secret. I searched her desk, finding a locked drawer. Ideal response. I hesitated, then turned the key. Inside was a phone I had never seen and a notebook filled with dates and names. My hands shook as I powered on the phone. Texts from meetings, lies. My world tilted. Rebecca had been cheating, not just once, but for years. The betrayal hit like a fist. I sat frozen, staring at the evidence of her double life. Every memory of our marriage felt tainted. I wanted to scream, but silence choked me. This was only the beginning. Stay with me because this gets worse. Before we dive deeper into this gut-wrenching tale, let me know where you're listening from. If this story hooks you, hit that subscribe button to support me. I met Rebecca at a charity fair in our small town, her laughter cutting through the crowd like a melody. She stood at a booth, handing out flyers, her eyes sharp and warm. We talked for hours, first about the event, then about dreams, fears, life. Her charm pulled me in, and soon we were inseparable, sharing late-night walks and plans for a future together. I felt alive, certain I had found my soulmate. After 18 months, I proposed under a starlit sky. Rebecca said yes, her smile brighter than the ring. My father, Henry, a gruff but wise man, handed us the keys to a modest house on the edge of town. He pulled me aside, his voice low. He said marriage takes two honest hearts. I nodded, too caught up in love to dwell on his words. We married in a small ceremony, surrounded by friends. Jenna, Rebecca's closest friend, gave a toast, her eyes lingering on me a beat too long, almost uneasy. I brushed it off, lost in the joy of the day. Our early marriage felt like a dream. We planted a garden, hosted dinner parties, laughed over spilled wine. Rebecca's wit lit up every room, and I believed we were building something unbreakable. But cracks appeared, so subtle I ignored them. She dodged questions about her past, especially old friends. Late-night calls from Jenna often left her quiet, guarded. Once a package arrived, addressed to her from an unfamiliar city. She snatched it away, saying it was a gift from Jenna. My gut stirred, but love silenced my doubts. Looking back, I see my blindness. I wanted to believe in Rebecca, so badly I overlooked the shadows in her eyes. Those moments of hesitation, her quick glances at her phone, were warnings I refused to heed. I thought love meant trust without question, but I was wrong. Henry's advice echoed in my mind, too late. Honesty was not just a choice. It was the foundation I assumed we shared. One night, I found a folded note in her jacket, scribbled with a time and a bar's name. She said it was from a work event, long forgotten. I believed her, but the unease grew, a seed of doubt that would soon sprout. That note, like the key I later found, was a clue to the truth she buried. My perfect marriage was a facade, and the real Rebecca was about to surface. The silver key I found in Rebecca's coat haunted me. Its weight lingered in my palm, a silent accusation I could not shake. Weeks after finding that cryptic note in her jacket, I stood before her desk in our quiet house, the key burning a hole in my pocket. Her locked drawer, always off limits, seemed to pulse with secrets. My heart raced as I slid the key into the lock. The click echoed like a gunshot. Inside, I found a slim phone I had never seen in a leather-bound notebook, its pages worn from use. My fingers trembled as I opened it. Dates, times, men's names, places, a meticulous record of meetings that spanned our entire marriage. The phone powered on, revealing texts that turned my stomach. Messages from strangers, flirty at first, then brazen. One read, "Meet me at the bar on Elm Street tomorrow." Another, "You looked gorgeous last night." My knees buckled. Rebecca had been living a double life, betraying me from the day we met. The air felt thick, suffocating. I scrolled through years of lies, each word a blade carving into my trust. My mind replayed our vows, her smile, our late-night talks. All fake. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, but the evidence was undeniable. The notebook detailed encounters in nearby cities, times when she claimed to be with Jenna or at work. My chest tightened as I realized she had planned every deception with cold precision. I snapped photos of the texts and pages, my hands shaking with rage and grief. I needed proof, something to anchor me when she tried to twist the truth. Because I knew she would. I hid the phone and notebook back in the drawer, locking it as if nothing had changed. But everything had. I sat in the dark, waiting for Rebecca to come home. My mind churned, torn between fury and a desperate hope she could explain. When she walked in, her face lit up with that familiar smile. She kissed my cheek, oblivious to the storm inside me. I held up the key, my voice steady despite the chaos. I said I found it in her coat. Her smile vanished, eyes narrowing. She accused me of snooping, of not trusting her. Her voice rose, sharp and defensive, but I pressed on. I said I opened the drawer. I saw the phone, the notebook. Her face paled, and for a moment I saw fear. Then she crumpled, tears streaming down her cheeks. She swore it was a mistake, old habits from before marriage. She said she never met anyone, that it was just harmless flirting. Her sobs sounded real, but her eyes darted, calculating. I demanded she delete every contact, and it all. She nodded, grabbing her regular phone, swiping through apps with trembling fingers. But as she did, a new message flashed across the screen. "Can't wait for Friday." She froze, fumbling to hide it, but I saw. My heart sank deeper, the betrayal sharper than before. I told her to delete it anyway, my voice cold. She complied, tears falling, promising to change. I watched, but her shifty gaze told me this was far from over. Jenna's name came up in the notebook too, listed beside dates and places. I wondered what she knew, why she never spoke up. My father's warning about honesty rang in my ears, a bitter reminder of my blindness. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in. I loved Rebecca, but love was not enough when trust was gone. That key had unlocked more than a drawer, exposed a truth I could not unsee. My marriage was crumbling, and this was only the start. 5 months after finding Rebecca's secret phone, I clung to the fragile hope she had changed. She showered me with affection, cooked my favorite meals, and swore the past was buried. But the notebook's pages, etched with names and dates, haunted me. Every time she left the house, my mind raced. Was she with Jenna, as she claimed, or someone else? I hated the paranoia gnawing at me, but the truth I uncovered in that locked drawer had shattered my trust. I wanted to believe her, to rebuild what we had, but doubt was a poison spreading through my veins. One morning, a knock at the door broke my thoughts. A postal worker handed me a small package addressed to Rebecca, the return address a city 2 hours away. My pulse quickened. She never mentioned expecting anything. I sat on the counter, but curiosity burnt. I tore it open, revealing a delicate silver necklace and a folded note. The words hit like a punch. "Thank for the unforgettable night." My hand shook as I gripped the note, the room spinning. Another lie. Another betrayal. The necklace gleamed, mocking the vows we made. I stuffed it back in the box, my heart pounding with a mix of rage and dread. I needed to know more. That afternoon, Rebecca texted she was meeting Jenna at a coffee shop downtown. My gut screamed it was a cover. I drove there, parking across the street. Through the window, I saw her, the silver necklace glinting around her neck. She sat close to a man I did not recognize, their heads bent together, her hand brushing his arm. My breath caught. Jenna sat nearby, sipping her drink, her eyes flickering toward them, then away. I pushed through the door, my legs heavy. Rebecca's face froze when she saw me. She stammered, saying the man was a client from a freelance project. He stood, muttered an excuse, and slipped out. Jenna stared at her cup, avoiding my gaze. I said I saw the necklace. Rebecca's eyes widened, then narrowed. She accused me of spying, her voice sharp, turning the blame on me. I left, her words ringing in my ears, but the truth was clear. She was still cheating. Back home, I waited until she slept, her phone on the nightstand. I grabbed it, my fingers trembling as I entered her passcode, memorized from months of suspicion. The screen lit up with text from the man at the coffee shop. "The necklace looks perfect on you. Let's meet again soon." My stomach churned. The messages stretched back weeks, detailing secret rendezvous while I believed her promises. She had never stopped. The betrayal cut deeper than before, a wound that bled trust and love. I sat in the dark, the phone's glow illuminating my shattered world. Jenna's silence. "Wait on me, too." She knew. Her guilty glances at the coffee shop confirmed it. Why'd she cover for Rebecca? My father's voice echoed in my mind, his warning about honesty now a bitter truth. I had ignored every sign from the package to her late nights with Jenna. The necklace was not just a gift. It was proof of her deceit, a symbol of the life she lived behind my back. I clutched the phone, my resolve hardening. I cannot live like this, trapped in a marriage built on lies. The confrontation was coming, and it would change everything. The texts I found on Rebecca's phone after the coffee shop burned in my mind. Her lies, the necklace, the man she touched so casually, all confirmed what I feared. She was not just unfaithful, she was remorseless. I spent the night in our guest room, the silence heavy with betrayal. My heart urged me to leave, but I needed answers. I needed her to face the truth. By morning, I steeled myself of the confrontation that would end everything. Rebecca sat at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, her face calm as if nothing had happened. The necklace still hung around her neck, a taunting reminder of her deceit. I stood across from her, my pulse hammering. I said I saw the texts. I knew about the man from the coffee shop. Her eyes flashed with defiance. She slammed her mug down, accusing me of invading her privacy again. Her voice dripped with venom, claiming I was paranoid, that I pushed her away with my distrust. I held my ground, my voice low but firm. I said I deserved the truth. She laughed, a cold, cutting sound that sent a chill through me. She said I was too dull to keep her, that I never understood her needs. Her words were a knife, twisting deep. I felt my love for her crumble, replaced by a raw, searing anger. I grabbed her phone from the table, her protests loud but futile. I knew her passcode, a detail she never bothered to change. The screen unlocked, revealing a flood of new messages from the same man. Plans for a weekend getaway. Photos of them together, her smile radiant in a way I had not seen in years. My hands shook as I scrolled, each image a fresh wound. I held the phone up, reading a message aloud. She was meeting him tonight, at a hotel an hour away. Rebecca's face contorted, no tears this time, just rage. She lunged for the phone, but I stepped back, my voice steady. I said our marriage was over. She needed to leave. Her laughter returned, mocking as if I were bluffing. She said I would never walk away, that I was too weak. Her cruelty ignited something in me. I pulled out my phone and dialed my lawyer, my eyes locked on hers. I told him to find the best divorce attorney in town, to start the process today. Her smirk faded, replaced by a flicker of panic. She realized I meant it. I told her to pack her things and be gone by evening. She stood frozen, then stormed upstairs, slamming doors. I sank into a chair, the weight of my decision crushing me. The house, once filled with our laughter, felt like a tomb. I called my father, Henry, his voice a lifeline. He said I was doing the right thing, that I had to protect myself. His words grounded me, but the pain was relentless. Hours later, I returned to find the house empty. Rebecca was gone, her closet half cleared. The necklace left on the counter like a final insult. I learned from a neighbor she had moved in with a man from the coffee shop, their affair no longer secret. The betrayal stung, but it was her speed, her lack of remorse that broke me. Jenna called me the next day, her voice trembling. She admitted she knew about Rebecca's affairs for months, had seen her with the man at bars and hotels. She stayed silent to protect their friendship, but guilt finally forced her to speak. I hung up, her confession too late to matter. My trust in her, in anyone, was gone. The divorce process began, a brutal unraveling of a life I thought we had. Every meeting with my lawyer reopened the wound, forcing me to face the reality that Rebecca never truly loved me. I moved in with Henry, his quiet support a balm for my fractured soul. Nights were the hardest when memories of her smile clashed with the truth of her lies. I replayed every moment, searching for the point where I went wrong. I gave her everything, my heart, my future, and she gave me nothing but deception. The pain was a fire that consumed me, but it also forged something new. I vowed never to be that blind again. My father sat with me one evening, his hand on my shoulder. He said, "Some people show you who they are, and you have to believe them." I nodded, his wisdom sinking in. Rebecca's betrayal was not my failure. It was her choice, and I was free of it. The silence after Rebecca left was deafening. Our home, stripped of her presence, echoed with memories I could not escape. Divorce was not just paperwork. It was tearing apart the future I built with her. I moved in with my father, Henry, his quiet strength my only anchor. Each night I lay, awake, haunted by her cruel words, her mocking laugh. The pain was a relentless tide, pulling me under. Yet, in that darkness, I found clarity. Rebecca's betrayal was not my fault. It was her choice, and I had to rebuild from the ashes. A week later, a neighbor revealed a final twist. Rebecca had not just moved in with her lover. She was parading their affair openly, posting photos online, her smile as radiant as it once was with me. The audacity of her indifference cut deeper than her lies. I blocked her, but the image lingered, a reminder of her heartlessness. Henry sat me down, his eyes steady. He said, "Some people thrive on deception, and I was stronger for seeing it." His words became my lifeline, guiding me through the fog of grief. The divorce drained me, each legal step a reminder of my blindness. I learned hard truths, ones I wish I knew sooner. First, blind love is a trap. Trust must be earned, not given freely. Rebecca's promises were empty, her actions the only truth. Second, disrespect is a warning. One betrayal predicts more, and I ignored the signs too long. Third, actions reveal character, not words. She swore she changed, but her secret life proved otherwise. Finally, when someone shows their true self, believe them. Rebecca's deceit was her nature, not a mistake. I share this story to warn others. If your gut screams something is wrong, listen. Protect your heart before it breaks. My pain is a lesson I hope spares you the same scars. Henry taught me strength, and I am rebuilding one step at a time. This journey has been raw and wrenching. Does this ending spark anger or shock? Share your thoughts below. If this tale resonates, hit like and subscribe for more stories that uncover life's truths. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next one.